secrets ask me to tell some things.
No. Don't you dare talk about my hair.
Cue up the camera.
He says that like we don't know anything. We probably have our own.
Yeah, bring it up.
All right, everyone go around the room.
We're just, this is Nabil, everybody. He is such a important part of today in setting up the live stream. So we just want to make sure that we're good to go here.
Almost there.
Okay.
You dance.
On occasion, on occasion, absolutely.
Now would be a good
Right, exactly. I know. Well, for all of you that made the trip in today, I just can't say how appreciative we all are on behalf of everybody at Informz that you did come in. I know everybody is so busy. We're going 100 miles an hour. And this is really, it's a day of first for us because we've never really took the time to do a partner event like this. Obviously, we're having our user conference today, so it's a really important day for us. It's also a day for first because we are video live streaming. And so we have a whole bunch of people that are partaking from the comforts of their own desk today. And again, so we're really excited to be able to share this information with you today. We also are really excited that we have a lot to report out on. And Joe just reported out on a whole bunch of stuff. So we're really excited. But we're all partners. We're all here because we are partners in some way. We know that we are stronger when we are together. We want to collaborate together. In thinking, I was up at like 5 a.m. this morning and I was thinking, why can't I sleep? And it's sort of like that anticipation that you feel before a good party when you know like you're going to have all these great friends that are going to be coming and some new faces that you get to meet as well. So like I said, we're just so thrilled that you took time today to come. This is something that we were going to do more often. So you could say that you were at the first annual. Okay, all right, so here's what we're going to cover today. What I want to talk about today is sort of a state of the union, if you will. I want to talk about who we are, what we do, what the Informz brand stands for, how we strengthen our product in 2015, where we're going in 2016. We have some other really great information regarding where clients are seeing success, and also a recap of our thought leadership and how you can be a part of that thought leadership as well. So I have a cast of characters here today. Joe Tyler, our visionary here. So Joe is, as you know, our CEO. I have Terry Narat here. I don't think Joe would mind if I say that she runs the ship, right? Right, exactly. But I actually am now going to start referring to Joe and Terry as like code names. DB and LP, right there. I mean, isn't that the greatest? I saw this on Friday. I was like, oh, this is so going in the PowerUp. You know me already, and this is my colleague, Lori Ely. Lori Ely has literally single-handedly brought the Informz brand on the map and continues to enhance it every day. And in thinking about this group of people here, we've been together 8+ years. And so I just think that that really speaks to a lot of the long-term commitment that a lot of the employees have. I also have sitting next to me Tracy, who's one of our e-marketing advisors, and we're going to have a lot of fun with Tracy in a second. But I'm so glad that Tracy could join today. Some people think that the e-marketing advisor is like snuffleupagus, like they don't really exist. This is that they do. Okay, so I don't know. I know that a lot of you know who we are and what we do, but I thought it might be great for just a quick refresher because there might be some surprises here. We obviously offer a portfolio of products that serve the association space. Email marketing is our core competency, but we also offer a portfolio of products. Some of you may not be aware that we offer an online survey tool, a transactional module tool. We have a really nice marketing automation tool that we have spent a lot of time on and continue to develop as well. And we also have professional services options for our clients. Lori went out last year and made some really great hires. She did some strategic maneuvering to bring in 2 e-marketing strategists, that we call them. They have a proven track record of improving campaign performance. They've worked for some of the biggest brands out there, and their mission is to bring that B2C marketing mentality to the association space. And they really work with our clients in professional service engagements around strategy, campaign management, design services, and they're really instrumental in helping the clients that want to do more with the system. And they raise their hand and they're ready to do more. I think Andy Duncan said it in his video in the opening session, that they're there and that they provide that functionality. The other interesting thing about these 2 e-marketing strategists is that they also want to collaborate with you all. They are really great. They provide really great content for your blogs, your webinars, your speaking slots at your conferences. We'd love to team up with you. Lori's good. I don't want to steal Lori's thunder, but she will talk a lot about that. The thing that I hope that you take away for today is that what makes Informz special is that we have a very unique perspective on the association market, and that we really want to work with those clients in a one-on-one capacity. So now that we've gotten a little bit about what the product does, I want to talk to you about who supports the product back home. Here we go here. Okay, so we have 80 plus employees. We're located in Saratoga Springs, New York, which is like the place to be in July and August. Don't come visit us in December. And you know, we work with clients that are from the membership and marketing departments, for example. We really want to keep a close connection to our clients. We have won the Best Places to Work award 2 years in a row. And with 80 plus employees, we actually just recently expanded our offices as well. So we're in a beautiful new office in downtown Saratoga. And our client services team really is probably the biggest group of employees at Informz, and there's a reason for that. But we are really focused, like I said, on connecting with the client and having that one-on-one relationship. When you see us at all the industry events, and we are making it our mission to be more active in ASAE in 2016, we love going to user conferences, so please keep inviting me. So we do love that. And, you know, something that is important to note here is that most of our clients are coming already from an email service provider. So they've dipped their toe into that water. They're ready for a more elevated email marketing solution. And we really are primarily working with those folks that are in the 2 to 10 million in revenue range. Typically, there are between 2 and 10 users in each one of these accounts. The theme of our conference is the Superfan Summit. We want to help our clients become super fans of the product. One of the very key strategic moves that we have made is introducing the client idea swap, which Lori is going to talk more about. But this is more of an organic, user-based group of meetings that allow customers to come together, and sometimes prospects, but customers and prospects to come together to really talk about their use of the product and learn from one another. I just checked in on this the other day, and we are on track to send almost 2 billion emails in 2015. So I don't know if any of you have ever met Greg Robinson before, but he's our Director of ISP Relations and Security, and so he's a very busy man making sure that those 2 billion emails get to where they need to be. So, excellent. Now, since we maintain a close connection to our clients, we recognize that sometimes things change with the clients. And as a result, we want to be nimble. And so we are integrators by nature. We have integrations with all the major AMS players out there. We have added 10 new integrations in 2015, and we're not stopping. We have big plans on integrating in 2016. We are also looking outside of the box, and the Higher Logic folks have been a great team to work with because Joe's going to talk a little bit about integrating to other data sources as well. The thing that is really important, though, about the integrations is that we want to be flexible. We want to be a company that is easy to do business with. That transcends everything from how we build with clients to how we partner with all of you. We want to be a company that's just easy to do business with. Wouldn't that be nice if everything was just really, really easy? And we think, well, we can make that happen. We can do that. So most of our clients are using email in an integrated fashion. And when you do come to a demo of Informz, we really speak to the value of integrated email. We believe that it's a chance for customers to go outside of their comfort zone, to go beyond just an email service, to utilize something that is integrated with their membership and marketing data, and to allow them a whole new range of opportunities to further segment that data to send very targeted and personalized email campaigns. That's what we're all about, targeted and personalized. You can't do that without having the data from the database. The other important thing, and the other big message that we do put out there, is that we recognize that the AMS is the database of record. And so many of these integrations are two-way integrations. They are in real time. We're supporting that data, that rich data in Informz right back to the AMS as well, so that a client could utilize that information to further segment and further refine their query set and come up with new and interesting opportunities to market to. So, okay, there's no mystery here. We're not the only, game in town here, and we know that we're not alone. So what actually makes Informz different from some of my competitors? And there's a whole laundry list of reasons, and there's features and functions and so forth, but it really comes down to three main reasons: ease of use, analytics, customer support. So in regards to ease of use, this one is a really important one because it's one of those ones that sneaks up on you. And when people are shopping, they say to themselves, you know what, that does make a lot of sense. We're really focused here at Informz on the efficiency factor. And what I mean by that is, Peter mentioned it in his opening session, we recognize, we have a very, very acute understanding of how our clients utilize our software. And that's because Joe and Terry go out and visit with them and sit with them. That's because Peter Nelson, our Director of Product Management, is on a road show. Sometimes we don't know where he is. And we just make him check in with us, but he's on a road show. And he is focused on sitting with the clients and really understanding their usability of the product. So what do we do with that information? Well, we gather it all up, we take it back, and we build intuitive steps and features and functions that speak to how the end user is using the software. Another really important point there is that we recognize that clients are a lot of times we recognize that our clients don't have the luxury of focusing on email all the time. They'd like to, but they just can't do it. So we also understand that the system has to function in the manner of which that they expect it to, and that they are looking for intuitive steps to just make their day a lot easier. So that's a very important point, because sometimes that gets lost with software, but we really, really make a point to bring that home. Analytics has always been a strong suit of Informz. Probably because Joe and I have worked together so long, and Joe sometimes would show me things, and I would look at it and go, I don't get it. What is that supposed to say? So our reporting is very visual, and I think that speaks to the association skill set. It's very visual. It's in real time. There's no shortage of data. Terry came up this morning. She said, I had a question from a client. He wanted to know X, Y, and Z, and one of the advisors said, oh, yeah, we got a report for that. There's a report for everything. And it really, really speaks to the client, because another important factor is data is just data unless you actually know how to analyze it and use it. And what we were finding is that the customers didn't have the time to delve into those analytics and understand what they were looking at. So Joe, Peter decided that we have to answer the questions for them. We have to connect the dots for them. So I think you'll notice that a lot of the reporting in Informz aims to answer some of the tough marketing questions that associations face. The other thing that I love is I sat with Amy Hager this morning for breakfast, and she says that she used to bring the reports all the time to her board meetings and to some of her executive leadership to physically show them what was going on. And what she loved is like she didn't have to do much explaining. It was just all black and white, all right there for her. So, last but not least is support. And I think that it's no mystery that we take support very easily. Long time ago, I was there. Joe decided that he wanted to do software support completely different than any other company. So he thought about the role of the e-marketing advisor. I think I was the first, right? And I quickly moved on, right? but the advisor is really an extension of the client's marketing team. And it's a commitment. It's a commitment to provide this type of support. But I think that if you were here this morning, perhaps, or you've seen one of our client testimonial videos, you'll know that that's truly a differentiating factor for the end user. The e-marketing advisor is like a personal trainer. It's somebody that you have a relationship with. Tracy knows things about her clients know things about her, and you're close, you're tight. And this is what it's all about, being able to help them in the moment. And they're not in a support queue. The word ticket is kind of like a swear word in Informz. So we're not somebody that's looking to just put in a ticket and pass it along. Tracy may put in a ticket, but she's also going to interface with the client in some capacity. So I know that some of you might be thinking that the e-marketing advisor is like Snuffleupagus. Who really is this person? I have one right here, and I thought that maybe I was just thinking about kind of the agenda for today. I thought you maybe would benefit from hearing from Tracy what her job is like and what she actually does. So I was going to ask you a couple questions. You up for it?
I'm up for it.
All right. Talk to me a little bit about your day at Informz. Describe your day.
My day. Well,
Yeah.
certainly, Meg said it to Joe that we're there for customer service. So I'll get a phone call, could be an email, and respond as quickly as I can. So it's continuing to build that relationship. I could work for an hour or two on one particular task while other things are coming in, but it's the constant communication. That's what our clients have known to expect from us. That you don't just get a question and it goes into a dark hole.
So what do you think is your response time, typically, when a question comes in?
Let's say the Informz way is immediately. Even if it's the email comes in, I
Right.
received your inquiry, I'll get back to you shortly. Or if it's a phone call, you can hear the panic in someone's voice. I messed up and I had the wrong link in my email. You dropped what you're doing, and so it's very, very fast.
So is it uncommon for you to talk to the same user multiple times a day?
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And sometimes the user will just pick up the phone and call just to say hello, or she or he just got out of a meeting and said, I'm so frustrated about XYZ, can I just talk to you? And
Do
then
they tell you about their success? Are you one of the first people that they call if they have a
Sometimes,
particular
yeah.
point of success?
they'll look at their reports, or sometimes I'll call them and I'll say, hey, did you realize that mailing that we worked on together, or you worked on with your team, produced these results? And they have a little happy dance.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Do your clients typically email you, call you? How do you interface with them?
It's a little bit of both. We have what's called a client call, or sometimes we'll have transition calls if I'm receiving a new client. And during that call, I'll ask them, what's your preferred way of communication? And you're probably not surprised, it is email. However, we find the best way to build relationships, pick up the phone. So sometimes I'll get the email inquiry and they'll send me screenshots but still it's important. Find that number, pick up the phone, and talk to them. Because once you're talking to them, you're uncovering other opportunities.
So I would imagine, that you are, in some cases with clients, entrenched in whatever the marketing or the membership department that you're working with. Do they perceive you as an extension of their team?
I'd say yeah, absolutely. And I've had a couple of examples of that. One could be as simple as we're working on this mailing. I have a manager who wants the subject line to be this long, and we're like, well, that's not really a good idea. So she'll let people call me and say, do you have some suggestions? Can we brainstorm this? What's worked for other clients? So it could be as small as a subject line, or as large as we're working on our strategic plan. I need to get some budget numbers to my boss. Can we work together on that? And then we'll talk about what are your goals, what are your initiatives, what do you currently have in place that would work with that. So sometimes it's really a part of that strategic process. Those are the fun calls.
Those are the fun calls. So I know that a lot of your interaction with the client is more like proactive and tactical. But I know that you're also, and I know this is a strong suit of yours personally, is the client audit check-in. Walk me through your process on what a client check-in call is like and how you sort of structure that and the feedback and so forth.
Okay, so we have several types of check-in calls, if you will. You get a new client, you have a call at 3 months, at 6 months, and then at a year. And that check-in call, you'll identify who's the primary user, who are the different department heads that you should be working with, who's currently using Informz, who should be using Informz, what are their challenges that they're facing, what are the overarching goals. We'll also ask, provide some feedback on Informz. What's working for you? What are some enhancements that you're looking for? How can I be a better advisor? That's always one of them. I find the more I know about my clients, the better that I can serve them.
How many users do you think that you work with at each one of your clients?
Let's see, each client varies,
Right.
but I would say on an average, it's probably like 2 to 10 or so. We do like to have one champion or one primary user that we're launching a new feature. I know, okay, I need to call Sarah because she asked me about this feature and now it's ready to launch. So if I call Sarah, she'll then tell the entire team.
And we all know that turnover is a big part of an association. And one of the things I forgot to mention that is worth mentioning, I think, is that our training at Informz is free of charge. Mm-hmm. And that's a direct result of Joe and Peter going out on the road and understanding that life happens, stuff happens, people need to be retrained, and we needed to make it easy for them. So we offer 4 levels of training that they can pop into at any point in time, and that's free. What do you do when you lose a champion or use a power user? What's your go-to next step?
Let's say, get the tissue box, because you've built a relationship with this person, and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that they're leaving. But we have seen that at times they'll go to a new organization, and then they'll call and say, we're interested in Informz, so that's the thing. As far as the champion, and what do? We get actually a notification when there's a change in the system, our new user change, and I will contact my primary contact person and say, hey, look, I see that Joe Smith is a new user. Would you like me to walk through training? Do you have internal training? Or sometimes I can just go into our CRM and say, okay, in the past we've done training this way. So it's really a combination. Sometimes it's for free, sometimes I do it.
You see in the system, there's a mechanism in the system, which I didn't know this until yesterday, that you can see when there's a new user, and you proactively reach out. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something that Joe's team created. You get a little ping and see if a new user at so-and-so. And then I react to them.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, that's great. All right. I talked earlier about the professional services. Tell me a little bit about when you identify a client that might need to graduate to some of those professional services. How do you make the transition to one of our e-marketing strategists?
I'd say, it's when you're involved in that client call and you're really uncovering what are the strategic goals, that's at times where it comes out with our new marketing automation suite. You kind of get into these deeper conversations. And I had one of our clients say, we love this idea of marketing automation. I need somebody that is going to be on this project for between 3, 6, or maybe even 9 months. Do you have a strategist that can help drive this whole marketing suite through our organization? So then what happens is I get an internal system and I'll ping one of our strategists. we have an internal meeting first, and then we have a call with one of our users. So I see it more as a long-term.
Long-term,
Yeah.
okay.
And the other thing that I wanted to mention with the strategists is they have the power to really see and learn from all of our different clients and the projects they've worked on, so they can then share that with one of my clients.
Right, okay. All right, before I let you go, last question. This is like inside the actress. When you end and I ask you what your favorite swear word is. But I won't ask you that. I'm going to ask you what your favorite feature of Informz is.
I would say that it's the new web tracking feature with marketing automation. I've been fortunate in my career to be in marketing, and as a marketer, you always want to know what is that return on investment from those emails I sent. So just the capability to be able to say, this email, this subscriber clicked on that register button, and I know it's because of that email to tie it back. And the reporting and the web tracking is phenomenal. Excellent. It's a good one.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Did you say how many clients you manage? Like you personally?
How many clients? I have about 35.
I should have mentioned earlier too that Tracy is one of our executive advisors. So we have two of our executive advisors here at this user conference, and she works with those clients that are of a higher stature in terms of their needs and wants and so forth. The higher logic account goes with Tracy. They're high demand. But okay, so you've all come not to see me, and you've come to see Joe and what he has to say. So Joe's going to walk us through all of the exciting parts now. So I'll hand the clicker to you, Joe.
Thanks. Yeah, it's great to be able to talk to you all again. I've had the pleasure of working with Megan for 11 and a half years. It's amazing. And if I look at all of my managers at Informz, one thing about us is that we work together for a long time. We're right at the tail end of our strategy planning that Terry runs every year. And it's so interesting when all the managers get together and we know what each other is going to say just by their body language. Oh, Peter made that face. I guess he doesn't like it. Okay, better change it. One thing that we do, we're very thorough with our strategy planning. It really starts with two-on-ones that Terry and I do with every staff member all throughout the summer. Because we want to make sure that we know what the people who are actually doing the work are feeling out there, and what they're hearing from our clients. And of course, we layer on top of that what we hear from our client visits, and also what sales and marketing. But hey, let's get right into the Informz product. So I am still very involved in the Informz product. I'm CEO, but I'm also very much involved in the vision of the product and in managing our development team as well. So in 2015, we have had 19 releases so far. We expect to have an additional 6 before the end of the year. We have 3 different teams that are developing software for us at Informz. One concentrates on user interface type of work. One is on back-end and integration. And another handles more smaller client-facing requests and also the defects. So with all 3 of them working at the same time, we can get a lot done during the year. We've made a lot of updates this year on our user interface. We're working on an application that is 15 years old. So it requires continual maintenance of the entire application. We're looking at both modernizing the application, but also making it more user-friendly. And of course, as Megan mentioned, we've done 10 additional integrations just this year, bringing us up to having, I believe it's 15 AMS integrations, and potentially even more in 2016. And when we do integrations, we have 2 primary technologies that we use. We have our own API that allows any of our partners to be able to connect into us. And that's really used by our partners that want to have control over that relationship. They want to have control over the information. We also have what we call our universal partner integration, which we use to connect out in a uniform manner to all of our partners' APIs. So depending on where the locus of control for the integration should go is depending on which technology that we use for a given integration. Marketing automation, of course, has been big for us this year with the introduction of our campaign designer, which I'll get into, web tracking, and also our new landing pages. We've also had a lot more work that we've done on online help and online training. We'll get into that as well. So the campaign designer. This is actually a screenshot of the user interface. Essentially, it's a drag and drop type of interface where you can bring in different components to create a flow of mailings. You can add mailings to it, you can add decision steps, wait steps, notification steps, things like that to create some very sophisticated marketing automation. You initiate these campaigns in two different ways. You can either trigger them using a construct that we have in Informz called a target group. A target group is essentially a filter of subscribers. So what the campaign can do is actually listen for changes that occur in that target group and then add those people into the campaign. So if you think about all of the changes that occur to an individual member that's stored in an AMS, for example, any of those changes can be used to initiate a campaign. So if they join a committee or if their certifications change, that type of information can be used to start off a campaign. I mean, you can also use it in the same way that you would publish a mailing, where you can publish a campaign as well. So if you have a given event, let's say that you have your annual meeting or clients have a certain webinar that they're trying to promote. You can publish a large group of people into a campaign, and then based upon how they react, perhaps they don't open that first mailing. You can have a decision step that says, okay, well, we're going to send them a different type of mailing. Or if they do open that mailing, maybe we're going to come back to them with a different type of offer. So the main benefits are that you can just automate just about anything. The sky's the limit as far as what our clients can do with marketing automation and this technology. And it's all, as Megan says, I frequently use a lot of her words, is you set it and forget it. So once our clients create this, they're able to go on vacation. We have a great video from one of our users who's actually talking about all the marketing work that they're doing sitting on a beach. And it's also great for automating member lifecycle campaigns. So welcome campaigns, for example, or win-back campaigns. They can all be done using our marketing automation. And to help our clients get started, we have these campaign starter kits. We are constantly adding to this list as well. There are 10 or 12 that are in there right now. But basically, for common uses that they would have for campaigns, for example, the webinar campaign, or the 90-day renewal campaign, or down here is the new one, the community profile campaign, that uses our integration with PowerUp. So all put together, trying to make sure that we're thinking about the client's needs. We're not just providing a tool and making them figure out actually how to use it. We're actually going to be providing the templates. Web tracking. Boy, this is another game changer for this year. And I'm just shaking how excited I am about it. A lot of people are familiar with Google Analytics and how you can use that to be able to see how many people are coming to different web pages. But when you combine our web tracking with an AMS, you now have the ability to see who is coming to each of those websites. So it's all about knowing known users. Who are the known users that are coming to the website? And all it takes is one mailing out of Informz that goes back to the website. We know who those people are. We're able to track what they do then, and also if they come back to the website the next week, the next month, we know what they do. So many great things that can be done with that. We're able to track not just pages that members go to on the association websites, but also different interactions that they have. So if they are filling out a search form, you can write that back to Informz. If there's a calendar of events and people are drilling down on that, and it's really not on the page, but the interactivity that's happening on the website, we can write that information back to Informz. And all of that can be used for triggering campaigns. So if we have a non-member who generally comes to the member benefits page, for example, we can trigger off campaigns to help get those people moved over to being a member. So many other ways that this can be used. It can also be used for scoring member activity. One of the changes that we had in Informz this year was doing engagement score. So the amount of activity that a person has with the association website can also go into their score. And of course, we have our newly released Higher Logic integration. So in Higher Logic, you have the ability to create automation rules. These automation rules are really very similar to Informz target groups. We can bring them directly into Informz. And the main uses for this is really to be the marketing automation system for the community manager. There is so much that they can do with this. They can trigger off events that occur in the community. They can also trigger off events that we want them to do, but those members haven't done. So if we have someone who hasn't created a profile, for example, or haven't uploaded their picture and bio, we're able to trigger emails to those people. Or it can also go back to getting more people to renew their membership. If we find that there's a member out there who is a big user of the community, but then they don't renew their membership, well, an automatic campaign can go out to remind them that, hey, the community misses you. A lot of things that associations can take advantage of there. Landing pages, we have a new landing page system that's going to be released before the end of the year. Everything is all drag and drop. You can't even get into the HTML. The days of the WYSIWYG editor are gone. We want to make things easy, just drag things around on the screen, and you can also style everything just right on the screen. So we know that our users, if you're talking to them, they of course don't know CSS, they don't want to deal with CSS, so creating these nice to use, easy ways of styling things. But also only giving the ability to style to the right user. It's funny when we talk to our users about you want it to be easy to use or you want it to be full featured. We always say the same thing. The main user says, I want it to be full featured and I want it to be easy to use for the rest of the people that I have to support. And so that's what we're always trying to do. Also, after the forms are filled out, there's lots of processing steps that can be done. Send out PDFs to people, send other emails, set up mailings, bring them into the campaign. A lot of things going on with that. Informz Insights. So Informz Insights came directly from a client meeting that we were having. Now we've known for a long time, we've had the ability in Informz to be able to share out reports. And we've known that a lot of our users are sharing those reports with the executives within their organization. That's one piece. Second is, we know that although we have great relationships with our users, we always struggle in getting that one step up. And Informz Insights really provided us that way to get that next level of access to the decision makers. Because instead of those decision makers just getting an email that says, hey, here's a link to this report, we're bringing them back to this nice portal where they can see their reports, but also see all of the other things about Informz. They can see who their e-marketing advisor is. They can see why they would want to contact their e-marketing advisor. The other things that they would want to go to their e-marketing advisor for, along with all the resources we have for them. Template gallery. We created a brand new template gallery this year. By the end of the year, we expect we will have over 50 templates in there. Now, we find that most of our users are looking for ways of creating those one-off mailings where they don't want to use the standard corporate but they want to be able to create an easy email template, different look for an event, and they're not really savvy with HTML. So we came up with an easy way within our gallery for them. Knowledge base and training center. This was a recurring theme that Terry and I heard during client visits in the late summer, where we know that although we're really good at getting clients up to speed, that we didn't have the best resources for training those new staff that come in. So staff turnover obviously happens, and we need to be able to be better at making it easier for those organizations to train those users. It's really neat hearing how our organizations are organized themselves to do this. We have one organization that has a person who owns the Informz process at their organization. They call them the Informz process owner, or the IPO. So what we are doing is we're bringing together not just better resources, but also allowing them to get on-demand training, a place for them to put in their own internal processes. So if they have a certain mailing that goes out every Tuesday, that can be written in there, along with, oh, by the way, these 5 people should always review that mailing before it goes out. And also the ability to put your own personal notes in as well. So looking at 2016 roadmap, we're looking at 3 core themes. The first is member data. And we spent a long time, we spent a lot of effort in 2015 on member data, doing our integration with Logic, doing our website integration, web tracking integration. So we're looking at also bringing in together event data, and registration data, webinar registration data, and potentially even LMS data. Because those are also silos of information that have information about what the member is doing, what their activity is with the association. Next up, continuing on work for marketing automation. We have a new version of Campaign Designer. We have a long list of requested features after coming out with version 1 that we're working through right now. And also, for our users who don't need the full power of the Campaign Designer, we're going to bring together our e-marketing strategists and our developers to create what we're calling member lifecycle solutions, which are essentially point solutions for doing new member campaign, or a win-back campaign, or a renewal campaign. So it's all built out. All they have to do is follow through the wizard, get their content, and the campaign. Lastly, and this is really an exciting area that we're delving into, is content automation. Our plan is to integrate with many of the CMS providers that are out there to be able to not just get content into Informz, but also to be able to know how that content is tagged and how it's characterized in the CMS. because that really goes right into how it should be targeted. We also want to do a content integration with our modules as well. There's a lot of great user-created content over there that can be used both in newsletters or could be used in content in promoting the community as well. Then on top of that, we're adding a content automation engine that I'm really excited about that has the potential of being able to really change how our associations send out newsletters today by completely automating it. And not just automating, grabbing the content and sending it out, but also being able to automatically change the frequency that a person receives news from the association based upon their behavior with the newsletters that we've sent before, but also changing the content that they receive based upon their behavior. So really exciting, and I'm really hoping that we can transform how associations do the newsletters to make it easier for them, but also to create a much better viewing environment for the members. Next up, I have Lori Ely, who's going to be talking about Informz being a thought leader.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks. Hi, everyone. So when I started the marketing team over 6.5 years ago now here at Informz, one of the core strategies that we focused on was positioning Informz as a thought leader in the association space. So what we did was we focused on creating association-specific content aimed at helping associations drive real results from their digital marketing initiatives. And we did that through a variety of ways, many of which I know will look familiar to you. Of course, presenting at industry conferences. We really focus on our Informz blog as well, informz.com/blog. So check it out if you haven't had a chance to yet. I have a rock star on my team, Alex Mastriani, which many of you probably know, who does a really great job of making sure the blog is regularly updated. We have a variety of expertise areas and voices represented on the blog. We have both internal voices, of course, but we also have external posters. Many of you, I know, have actually contributed to our blog, and we welcome everybody to continue to do so. And then we've also started having association professionals themselves guest blog for us, and that's going to be a theme you're going to see continuing at Informz, is getting them involved in it and showcasing what they're doing at their organizations. And we've now grown our blog subscribers to be over 18,000 subscribers, which we're pretty proud of at Informz. We, of course, also have our monthly webinar series, and as I was jotting down my notes on the plane right down here, I had a laugh because, again, 6.5 years ago when I first started my webinar series, I would consider it a pretty lucky day if I had 100 people registered for a webinar and maybe 40 of them actually showed up to it. So now my team laughs at me and calls me spoiled when, they report out to me that we have 400 people registered for a webinar, and I say, what do we have to do to raise that? Can we get to 500? And they're like, come on. But really that has become our average, 400 registrants. Depending on the topic, we'll get over 700 registrants. We had some pretty awesome topics this year. I know Rob and Tom were some of my star presenters, and we had a really, really great turnout. So looking to do more of that type of knowledge sharing in the future. Then also kind of keeping with that theme of getting the associations involved in the content production itself, we really focus on association case studies as well. So showcasing real strategies that associations are using and their real results. That way people can get some fresh ideas, but also see that some of these things are actually achievable. And continuing on that theme, something I'm really excited about is this year we started our first of the regional client idea swaps. So these are started in DC, led by, again, one of our rockstar clients, Amy Hager. I bet a bunch of you know her. And she started the DC swap. It's they happen to be Informz clients. They don't just talk about Informz related topics. They're just sharing ideas about what's going on at their organization. How can they do better? How can they drive more results? It's completely led, it's sponsored by Informz, but completely led and promoted by clients. We have now additional regional volunteer moderators in Australia. They're having their first meeting next week. We have a group in Chicago and another group in New York City. So I'm really, really excited to take this international. excited about these coming in the future. And then also we have our ebooks and our industry report. So this year we produced 3 ebooks tied to marketing automation related topics. Then also we have our signature piece, which is our association benchmark report, which many of you probably have seen before. This is also another piece I'm really proud of because this is the 5th consecutive year that we've produced it, and it was the first report of its kind that had email marketing metrics specific to associations. So email metric benchmark reports have always been available in the B2C world, retail, all those people have had it, but there was a gap for the association market. So that's where we started that. We have over 1,300 organizations represented in the report, and this has become a really widely distributed report. And it answers, those key metrics associations are looking for. What is a good open rate? How many emails should I be sending? So we've defined what are those key metrics, and we've produced those out to people. And kind of seen on the screen here, you can see a sample of the key open, delivery, and click rates. And this is a really good example of why it's important for associations to have metrics specific to their market, because you'll probably see that these are maybe lower than the key metrics of your email marketing campaigns, that of more B2C audiences as well. Because associations are sending member-oriented content, they tend to have higher open, delivery, and click rates. So it's important for them to see, it's not going to be fair for them to, look at themselves and then look at the gap and say, oh, I'm doing so much better. They really need to look at their peers, as you know. Additionally, we show all sorts of metrics. This was always a big one, especially as mobile has taken the world by storm. Crazy enough, this year we actually saw desktop start to edge over the mobile metrics. But by far the hottest topic that we hear is frequency. I cannot even tell you how often we hear from associations, oh, I'm over emailing my members. Tell me how many emails I should send to my members. So what's interesting is, we started tracking this and we were able to share, this is a good one to write down and tell your association friends. So 72% of the organizations are sending between 1 to 5 emails to a member per month. But what's great is it's actually the level above that. So when people are sending 6 to 10 emails to a member a month, they're actually seeing higher engagement rates. And really, when you combine that with also statistics that we show that have the smaller the audience that it's being sent to, those two have a higher engagement rate. So when you think about it, so if I'm sending more emails but smaller target groups, you can start to hypothesize that, okay, I'm sending more targeted content more frequently to people. And that's been something on our own marketing team that we've employed as well as part of our strategy, is we've said, okay, why are we thinking about everybody as a whole and saying, okay, the right mix is 1 newsletter per month, 1 general release, what is that mix? Instead, we really track people's behavior and what they're interested and tailor everything they're receiving from that point forward in real time based on how they're engaging with us. What is the type of content they want and how much are they consuming about it? So, if they're finding it relevant and valuable and interesting, they don't care if you send them 10 emails. They don't care if you send them 20 emails because they want to receive it. But if you're just sending the same thing to everybody, 20 emails is going to be way too many. So also in the report, we show some other trends and observations that we made as well. As emails become more mature in the market, we're less in the educating people about why to do email and instead educating them on how to do more with email. We're starting to see associations do more testing. They're using more of our advanced features so they can really start to see, how can I get real results out of it? And this really ties itself well to the marketing automation development that we made in the product. People are really ready to take that step beyond just blasting to everybody in their database. And that kind of brings me to my next point, which was sharing with you some of the results that we've seen our clients recently get. And of course, this is the part that we're all sitting up here super proud about. So starting with the Florida Association of Insurance Agents, they were one of our early adopters of our new automated campaigns feature. So they started out, like many associations do, they had one triggered email that they sent based off of a member join date in their AMS. They sent one really long email that had all of their benefits and all the things that you should do. And we have been able to have great results out of that. So, working with one of our strategists that Megan was talking about in the beginning, we said, hey, you've got to break this up into an automated welcome campaign, a series of 4 to 5 emails that go out every few days, each one tailored to a specific benefit, trying to get people engaged, and then tailoring the rest of their journey based off of that. They launched it, and they had a 201% increase in engagement on that welcome campaign. So needless to say, they're really excited. They drank the marketing automation Kool-Aid. They're excited to do some more with us. We had TIA, which is the Transportation Intermediaries Association. They took our advice on being a little bit more targeted in their content, thinking about the personas, which is also a new feature in our product, thinking about the personas of their audience when they were in relation to their educational courses that they're promoting. Somebody at an executive level is going to be much interested in a much different benefits that they'll get from the course than maybe someone who's actually looking for certification. They were able to use the advanced targeting features in our system, tailor those course benefits to people based on that persona, and they saw a 32% increase in revenue from their online courses. AARC, which is actually a case study that's shared on the pamphlets you have on your table. This is another one we were super excited with. Also worked with Vivian, who's one of our strategists, who I know many of you probably know. They worked with us to do a lapsed member campaign, another automated campaign trying to win back members. They were even blown away with the results that they've got. They won back 800 members in 45 days. And this is actually a success story that has continued to increase over time. We were pleasantly surprised or pleased when we saw their names pop up on the recent NIA Discovery Conference agenda because their database administrator was there talking about even more members that they've won back using these automated campaigns. We're really excited that they're kind of continuing on that side and talking about it even more. Friends at NADAP, which is the Association for Addiction Professionals, prior to coming to Informz, they had never used integrated email marketing before. They were just uploading lists, sending emails out to people. So leveraging their impact database and all of, again, the targeting features that we have in Informz, they, in under a year, increased their overall membership number by 38%. And their ED and Director of Membership directly attributes that to the integration between Informz and their database. And then lastly, something as a marketer, I'm super proud of is the American Library Association. Anybody here involved in marketing knows how hard it is to tie ROI of your marketing initiatives back, and they were able to successfully show. I know you're laughing over here, my CEO, but they were able to use our web tracking tool and directly attribute over 6 figures in non-used revenue back to their email marketing initiatives. And some of their campaigns, they were able to even tie $10,000 in revenue directly back to the email. So as a marketer, I'm super proud of ALA. So between the case studies, talking about the benchmark report and those different channels, I think you have a better sense for the type of thought leadership content that we focus on at Informz. I know a lot of it probably seems really familiar to you because that's probably similar strategies that you're employing at your own organization. So that's why I wanted to talk about, let you know that we want to partner with you. There's definitely marketing opportunities where we can find mutually beneficial by, putting our heads together and joining forces. As Megan and Joe mentioned, we have over 1,300 clients at Informz, well over 12,000 individual users, upwards of 30,000 people that we're actively marketing to. So we would love to join forces with you on some of the initiatives that I talked about. Again, our webinar series is something that we promote monthly, so we host monthly. We've had some successful panels and guest speakers. Again, Rob, Tom, Ray, have all been on our partner series. Rich, I know you've been on with Viv as well, a bunch of you here. We also regularly present at our partners and our friends webinar series. We'd love to join with you. We have expert speakers on a variety of topics, everything from marketing automation, general digital marketing, marketing strategy. We have technical folks on staff that can speak about deliverability, compliance, security, so we would love to partner with you. Our blog, as I mentioned, again, we have a strong following on our blog, but we can provide guest bloggers to you as well. We would love to collaborate with you on content. Again, we do ebooks and white papers all the time, but additionally, we have a lot of success with our benchmark report. We would love to diversify that. If people would like to join forces and bring in some other areas, we'd love to do that. We've had over 1,500 downloads just this year alone of our 2015 benchmark report. So again, joining together and giving some more content, I think that we can do a great job together there. Then, of course, there's the case studies. We'd love to work on joint case studies with you, focusing on what associations are doing. And then lastly, of course, industry conferences. Always looking to grab some clients, join a panel. So anything that comes up and you're looking for a speaker, definitely we would love to hear from you, and we'll think of all of you the same. So if you're interested in talking about any of these more, I encourage you to reach out to me, or Megan, of course, can put you in contact with me. And or even today, if you have any ideas, it's awesome note-taking, so creative juices are flowing. I can't wait. So I would love to talk to you more about that. But at this point, I'm going to turn it over to my pal, Meg.
Okay. So I think that most of you are already on here on our partner link, but I wanted to just ensure that for those of you that maybe aren't participating in partner link, to seek me out and let's get you on there. But this is an online repository of technology and services that serve the association space. We're not looking to bring anybody and everybody onto this list. We're looking for a meaningful list of partners to put on here. And we are marketing this to our client base. You'll see at the Superfan Summit, for example, that it's on the slide rotation, for example. But when clients go to shop for things, typically they will buzz up their advisor and they'll say, hey, look at, we need somebody to help us with our website redesign. You got any recommendations? Who do some of the other informed clients work with? So it's a great way for us to continuously refer those clients back to find different technology and services that meet their needs. So I just wanted to kind of close and make sure that everybody felt like they are getting the exposure on there that they want to, and if you're currently not, let's get you up there. If you're here, you're in. So at this point, what I would like to do is, again, just thank everybody. We have 1,300 global clients. There's absolutely no way we could have achieved that number without the help and support, continuous support from our partners. We want to collaborate. I think we've made the message clear, Lori, but we really do want to collaborate with you, and we're really looking forward to more collaboration in 2016. So I'd like to use this opportunity to open things up for questions. I realize that we have some viewers on the live stream, and I want to thank you for taking time out of your day. And if you'd like to drop off, certainly feel free. If there's anybody on live stream that wants to ask a question, they are capable of asking questions through the live stream, or of course you can always email me, and I'll be happy to take that. So it's not often that you get Joe in the hot seat here, so maybe it's a good time to ask some questions. So, and also provide any feedback. So we would love to hear, you guys have your feet on the street, and if there's any feedback, we'd love to hear that as well. Yes, Mark.
Great job. Joe, you providing the campaign templates, everybody that the rules are set up. Are you going to go set those up for them, or are you going to provide them and then they do it? What's your nudge to get them to actually start using this?
So right now, the starter kits, as soon as you go to Informz and you create a new campaign, it brings you the option of, okay, you want to start a black campaign, or you want to use any of these campaigns. One thing I should also throw out there is that we really see partners as being so important to our business. We're actually promoting Megan in January. She knows about it.
You should have acted much more surprised.
Her new title is going to be Vice President of Strategic Partnerships.
This means that you'll all be harassed about that. But this is going to allow us, though, I think, again, speaking to what Joe just said, is that we really do value the strategic partnerships, and we recognize that we do have a lot of work to do. There are some very specific partnerships that we want to strengthen, and that we want to help continue the education of Informz to make it very, again, we want to be a company that's easy to do business with. So if we're going to stand behind that message, we have to be able to put the people in place to support that. So Rory's going to be taking over the sales department and sales team, and obviously we work very closely. But it is an interesting move, but an important move that solidifies our respect of the partner community for sure.
So I had a question about the content automation. I know it's coming, so there has to be TBD. Is that going to be more template driven in the sense of from a behavior and then you go down from a new content, or how flexible will it be in the sense of from a setup standpoint, or will it constantly be updating based on new behaviors, or is it more set it and forget it?
Our hope is that it is set and forget it. Right now, we're still conceptual with it. But the goal is that it's set it and forget it. Everything is really done in the, you can start in your CMS by tagging content appropriately. And then Informz, you essentially create the rules for how to map things together and what behaviors to look at.
Sounds great.
So follow up to that. So on the CMS side, we're going to have some configuration work to do to make sure taxonomy is in place and it's consistent and looking at the API.
Correct, and one thing that we're doing right now is we're surveying our clients to find out which CMSs we should be integrated with, and also sort of how, and also to look at those CMS providers and make sure that we know what the commonalities are when we bring it into Informz.
I think one thing else that might be helpful is that, we want to, I know that some of you out there utilize the Informz API, and our API is very strong, and I think that something that Informz does a little bit differently is that we fully support you who utilize the API. And so meaning that if your developers have questions in the moment, they're coding away, we will absolutely fully support those questions. We're not handing you the book of code and telling you good luck. But Joe has some big plans too on enhancing that API in 2016, because we do recognize that here we are collecting all this fabulous statistics about who followed the whole click path of somebody. We want to be able to get that back to the database of record as well. So there are
Really
some,
all of our marketing
all of
data
that stuff's got to go. Yeah.
available via
Yeah, so that's a big improvement that we're going to be embarking on in 2016, for sure.
I have a question. Out of your 1,300 clients, do you have any that are outside of the association or nonprofit space?
That's a really good point, probably a bullet point that I overlooked. We primarily work with associations, obviously. We have 70% of our clients that are located in the U.S. We have 20% in Canada and Australia. We service clients on the West Coast in Australia in their time zone. But we also work with a lot of very large nonprofits. For example, American Cancer is one of our best and brightest out there. We have great success with a lot of large churches as well. And that is definitely something that we're actively pursuing, are those large fundraising and nonprofit clients. So we go to the AFP, we go to N10, we definitely have a presence there. Yes.
And to expand on that a bit, we also have concentration clients in higher education,
Yeah.
Publishing, and destination marketing as
Right.
well.
Yeah.
One of our oldest clients is a supermarket chain.
Oh, right. Yes. That's a good one. Actually, they're being featured in Sarah Culp's presentation, because they do some really interesting things with the API with coupons. Really interesting. So, and believe it or not, that's transferable to an association that they do.
Yeah, they basically tailor coupons for people based on their buying behavior in the store. So
Right.
people get coupons for based on things they're purchasing.
Yeah.
So with higher education, is it mostly out of admissions or alumni?
Well, that's a great question. I think one of the things that Informz does well is we land and expand. And typically, we do work with admissions and alumni development. But what happens is people start to get, wind, and we get introduced to other departments. But a long time ago, we had an integration to a CRM that served the higher ed space. And that's how we attracted and acquired quite a few higher ed customers. And they have been longstanding customers that utilize our product today. So, yes.
One thing I just wanted to mention, just with Mark's question, one of the other things that we are actually implementing from our client visits that Joe and I have recently come back from was when we came up with the marketing automation, and we're asking our clients about, implementing it, and a lot of people just didn't know how to get started. And it wasn't so much of, right now we have the starter kits, but they didn't even know what to say. So we are actually creating some packages that will be right in the product with some content that will be in there for people to at least get started.
Templates.
Yeah, and that's coming out this year.
We're calling that the life cycle.
Member life cycle.
Member life.
You heard it here first.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
But usually I come out the first day and the board changes. I always like putting a Z at the end of
Anybody else have anything? Well, again, thank you so much. We're welcome to stick around, hang out for a little bit. Please, let's mingle and chat. There's no rush to hurry out of this room by any means. So thank you for being our guest today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Bill.
You're welcome.
What are you thinking? Was there any feedback or any chat or anything?
I didn't see anything.
Okay, all right, good. Do you think we got it recorded too? Oh, yes, okay. We also got a recording of this as well.
Congratulations.
Yes.